Hey there. Hi. It is Thursday. It's 3 o'clock. It's time for Chat with Kat. Yay. Hello. And thanks ever so much for joining me once again, whether you're watching me live today or whether you're going to be watching this on replay. Thank you. Thank you for coming and spending some time with me. Thank you for coming to hang out. Thank you for bringing yourself. Thank you for allowing this questioning and this expansion and this newness and this pondering into your world, because that's what we all need right now. You know, I've often said my mantra of show me more of the moreness of me is really how I every single day just say, show me more, show me more, show me more. And I think that's what we have to be doing. We have to be inviting it in. And yeah, if you've been brought into my sphere, you're probably one of us who are going, yep, bring it, universe, show me more, bring it in. And then we're going, what the fuck did I do that for? Good morning, Becky. Lovely to see you. And if you're watching me on Facebook, just to let you know that this also gets streamed over onto YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'm also live on my Facebook page. So if you're not following me on either of those two places, then please do, because you know, sometimes glitches happen, technology happens, and I'm just talking for a minute to let a few of you come and join me today, because what I want to talk about is really quite important. What I want to talk about is the in-between space, living the in-between space. And I know that in-between space is really pretty tough to be in. That's why I want to talk to you about it today. And it's very much the energy of the world right now. We are collectively on a global scale in this in-between space. You know, in this agony of living in this space where we know we're not what we were, but we're definitely not what we're gonna be. And then there's this bit in the middle where we're just looking around and we see what's not right and we see what we're not becoming, and we see the agony of everything that's being released from ourselves, from the world, from community, from collectedness. We're witnessing it all surging around us and we're going, what the flipping flip's going on? But we know in our soul, we know in ourselves that there's no going back. There's no putting everything back in the bottle. There's no way to squidge our new expanded energy centers back into the smallness of who we used to be. There's just no way of doing it. We know this. We know this on a soul level. We've already massively expanded beyond where we were. Massively expanded, and we know that we're feeling more, and we know that we're like touching more of the universe, and we know that there's so much more for us to step into, and we know that this is change being made real, but it doesn't stop us sitting in the middle of it and going, oh fucking hell. And yes, sorry, I am a little bit sweary. I am a evolutionary guide for all of you humans who are very human. And that means that we are spiritual beings, but we're still human, which means that, yes, I do drop the odd bit of the odd F-bomb with a lot of love, you know, but you know that about me by now. So we are in this in-between space. That's where we are on a global level. We're in the in-between. But today what I want to talk about is what that in-between means for ourselves on an individual level, when each one of us individually is going through this expansion state, this moving into the newness of us when we're not quite who we're going to be, and we know we're not there yet, but we know we can't go back to who we were, and then here we are in this messed up middle, the in-betweeny bit. And this is the place where life can feel really, really tough. So I want to talk about a couple of things that we may be witnessing when we're in the in-between space. So the first thing I want to talk about is this energy expansion and what that means to our physical form. So often when we're going through these expansions, when we're in a state of becoming, you know, we've actively said, show me more, let me be more, move me over there. We've maybe set a goal, we've maybe chosen to take a route, we've made conscious choices at every level of our being, and we know that we've shifted. We know that we've shifted. We know that we are now in alignment on a different timeline to a different version of ourselves. We know we have expanded. We have gone beyond. So first thing, what needs to happen is we need to have compassion for this physical form that we are sitting in. Because all of this solidity that we live in, every bit of it, like the physicalness of us, you know, the physicalness of the world, the solidity of the world, everything that has been built through our conscious awareness of it is solid. And that takes longer to change than our energetic self. Our energy can shift in a moment. Our energy can shift like that. We can like that. But the density that we're living in, the echoes that we're living in, the reality that we're living in takes time. Solidity takes longer to change. So this physical form we're living in, we can imagine it like, you know, we've been to the gym and we haven't been to the gym for a really, really long time, or we've been for a long run, or we did a lot of exercise over the weekend, or whatever it is. And we feel that feeling in our physical form where our muscles are aching. Yeah, you felt that. Where all of a sudden, you know, if I go for a run and I haven't been for a run for a little while, I'll get out of bed the next morning and I'm like, ow, oh. And even worse, perhaps the second day, and I'm coming down the stairs on my bum because I can't bend my legs properly. I know you know what I mean. But this is kind of what happens with our physical form as well. We expand, and then all of a sudden, this bit of us has been through a workout. So it has to release, it has to let go of, it has to no longer hold on to the pieces that are not at the same resonance that we are now. And that means releasing old memories, that means releasing old emotion, that means releasing old tensions, that means releasing all of the bits of us that were held tight to the solidity of the version of us that we used to be. And this in-between space can sometimes make us think that we're going a little bit bonkers. Like, because we can feel this tension in our physical form. We can feel like things vibrating. So I'll talk about what happens to me. You know, what happens to me is I can feel like my body feels like it's vibrating sometimes. I can feel like I've got the worst headaches and pains up my back of my neck. But what I've learned is over the years that this is me going to the gym. This is me spiritually going to the gym. This is me in an expanded state. I've been to the gym. And so my body is reacting and letting itself become the physical form of me that is at this additional level of vibrational state. So what will happen is sometimes I'll sit for days and I'll feel these waves of emotion coming out. I'll feel these waves of memories coming out. Things that I thought that I dealt with for a really long time ago are just coming and coming and coming. And this in-between space can be really tough if we're not aware that this kind of happens. You know, like I say, like we've been to the gym, like we've gone for a run, like we've done a lot of exercise. Our body is going to change. Our body is going to react. And so when we've had an expansion, when we've welcomed in more of ourselves, when we've put ourselves in an alignment with a more elevated situation, when we have made a choice, the solidity of ourselves needs to change. It needs to let go of. And so this energy expansion, it can sometimes feel like there's a wonderful parent coach called Louise Clark. If you don't follow her, I will put her link in the comments. She's brilliant. But she explained this so perfectly in a conversation I had with her some time ago, where she said that she felt like she was being squeezed out of the toothpaste tube. And if you can imagine, that's what it feels like. And I hope that that really resonates, because if you can imagine, you would get tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter until there's this bit at the end where you finally know that you're out, where you finally feel like this tension's been released. So this is my story, this is my journey, and I'm hoping that sharing this with you will make you feel a little bit better, that sometimes, we can be in this in-between state and our body is just doing strange stuff. We are getting waves of emotion. We are getting waves of memories. We are getting all of these responses to this expansion. And now I know it comes. Now I know I've been guided through this so many times by my energy collective, the crew, that I know that this happens. That it's actually a really good signpost to me, that when I find myself in this state, I don't beat myself up anymore. I actually settle into it and go, okay, this is good. This is the stuff being released. This is the next step being made real. And in those moments, this is where I personally really strongly advise: chop wood, carry water. Just be in the day to day. It's not the time for making big decisions. It's not the time for choosing, to decide who we are. It's not the time to change directions. It's not the time to do anything when we're in that state of re-becoming. It's the time to come and be in ourselves and just let ourselves be. Just for a few days or even a few hours or whatever we need, and just really witness and pay attention to what's going on in ourselves. Because we are, the more aware that we can be of our own physicality, the more aware we are of our own state of thought, the more aware we are of our own state of our emotions, then the quicker that we can recenter. This is our power now. This is our superpower as awakened souls, or awakening souls, or sensitive souls. This is our superpower, to be able to return to center really quickly through our awareness of who we are, through our awareness of where we are. And this is a really beautiful saying of, like, whenever this is going on, it's where we are, not who we are. And we can get falling into this state of, oh, this all just means this about me. It means I'm useless. It means this decision wasn't right for me. It means that that route's not right for me. It means that I'm not good enough. It means. It doesn't mean. It doesn't mean. It's where we are. It's not who we are. The who we are has already expanded beyond this point. We are literally in the in-between, where we're being mashed up, we're being changed, we are being made renewed. We are constantly on a global scale at this moment being renewed. Everything is being renewed, and this is what we're witnessing on a global scale as well as on our own individual scale. We're looking around at all that's being released. We're looking at everything that's surging to the surface. We're looking at density and solidity being made real in front of our eyes, so that we can witness it and we can go, oh, look at that shit going on. Wow. And then we choose, through our own superpower, to recenter. We choose through our own superpower to come back to ourselves. We re-choose to come back into our moment. And one of the things that the crew really wanted me to share with you guys today is this is the moment where the in-between can actually be our healing space as well. And this means that when we go into meditation, when we take time to actually put ourselves in the in-between space, when we can go into meditation and simply be, let ourselves be, this is where this clearing, this change can happen most quickly, because we are not fighting it at that point. We're not judging it. We're not doing anything with it. And if we, in these moments, in the in-between, can simply step out and meditate, not for something. You know, how many times do we do a meditation and it's, I'm going to do a meditation to get some clarity. I'm going to do a meditation on this problem. I'm going to do a meditation to ask for this. I'm going to do a meditation to try and step into this new thing. I'm going to do a meditation for. And what the crew really wanted me to share with you today is simply meditate to be. Just step out, even if it's just for a few breaths, even if it's just for a short while, just to literally let yourself be and rest and step out into this in-between space energetically. This helps us all move through this transformation and this reforming much more quickly and with a lot more grace. Because we are humans, you know, and when this is all going on, we are reacting to it. We are witnessing it through our physical form as well. So it's really difficult to not judge it. You know, we've talked about this previously, that, you know, it's impossible to be a human in the world and not be in a state of judgment, because we are constantly witnessing ourselves in comparison to everything else that's around us. That is the reality of being human. So if we can gift ourselves a little time to step out and to just breathe and to take a few minutes just to meditate on being and just let ourselves be, not for something, not trying to achieve something, not trying to ask for something, but literally letting ourselves be, so that the moment of transformation can happen with more grace and more ease. This will be how we, as well as these awakened and aware souls, can move through this time with greater clarity of, is this me? Is this me? Is this me? Is this me? Because where we are in the messed upness isn't who we are. It isn't who we are. It's where we are. It's not who we are. And the more that we can remember who we are, this centered, amazing spark of the divine within us that is infinitely guided and infinitely supported, then we can create that reality for ourselves as our navigation point. And that's what all of this work is all about, is the practice, the practice, the practice, the practice to come back. The practice to come back into ourselves, the practice to come out of the intensity, the practice to come out of the solidity, the practice to come back out of the unhealed emotions, the practice to come out of all of those things and fall back into ourselves again, the truth of ourselves again, who we truly are. These divine beings, this spark of the divine, the spiritual being having a human experience through us, and therefore having a spiritual experience of being human. That's what we are, all of us. And we're all here now witnessing and being a space holder for this global transformation that's going on. And it will be going on for quite some time. We are in this in-between space, and that's why it's so important that all of us, the light workers, the light bringers, the visionaries, the creatives, all of us hold the space as the power of who we are, the energy of who we are, the bringing of who we are. And each individual one of us is creating a network of the new. That's what we're doing. That's why we chose to be here. Because each individual one of us is like an acupuncture point in the world, creating a new grid. We're not doing this on our own, but the practice feels like we're doing it on our own. And that's why it's so important that we come together and we have these conversations and we talk about what's going on, and we don't embed ourselves in the things that are being released. You know, I've talked about this before, and I don't think I've actually said this on one of the lives before, but I do this in one of our talks, is to actually visualize all that's being released. Like we're just having one big global fart at the moment. You know, if we have a bad meal and we get wind and we start farting, we don't suddenly grab hold of it and go, what has this got to tell me? What does this mean about myself? Oh my God, it stinks. What does that mean about me? It is just a release of what needs to come out and come through. So there you go. Didn't think we'd go to farts today, did you? Well, there you are. That's where we've ended up today. So, well, we can't leave it in that, you know, boringness. It's just not who I am. So this is the world right now. This is us as individuals right now. We are in this space of in between. And so if you are feeling like you're in this space where you don't quite know what you are, you don't quite know what you're becoming, you know that you're not that anymore, you know you're not where you're going anymore, and you're in this mixed up, mashed up space in the middle where you're just feeling like, what the fuck is going on? Why am I feeling like this? Why has things started crumbling around me? What on earth is going on? It's okay. That is the signpost that transformation is underway. That is the signpost to you to go, breathe. Okay, this is a moment of stretch. This is a moment where I need to come back to me. This is a moment where I need to come back to myself. This is a moment where I need to be still and let myself be. This is a time not for me to make big decisions. This is a time for me to do the work that's the equivalent of chop wood, carry water. This is me just coming into existing and letting myself be as all of this is moving up and moving through and moving out of me. That is what this time is all about. This is where we can recognize this is not who I am. This is just where I am right now. Take some moments, take some time to breathe. Come back into those moments of meditation where you are just being, not searching for, not asking for, not reaching for, literally just being. And that allows us to move into this state of grace, into the state of being where our spirit can do the work for us. You know, we are infinitely guided. We are infinitely connected. We are spiritual beings having this human experience and having a spiritual experience of being human. This is what we are. And we can let ourselves return to center as often as we need. Couple of breaths, hand on your heart, just breathe when you need it. If you're at work and you feel yourself getting out of hand, you feel those emotions coming up, you're going, what the fuck's going on with me? Go to the toilet, stand in the cubicle, put your hands on your heart and just breathe. Let it go, let it come through. It doesn't mean it's who you are. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It's a moment of transition and transformation. And that's where we are. And the other thing that I thought of just before I was coming on, you know, we all talk about, like, you know, that moment where the caterpillar turns into a butterfly, and I'm not really keen on that, because it kind of judges the caterpillar as not being something. It's like a caterpillar doesn't exist because it's becoming a butterfly. I'm not really keen on that. I like to honor the caterpillar as well, so I'm not going to use that analogy. But the one that I just thought of just before I was coming through was imagining like we're a grape. We're a beautiful, beautiful green grape, and we've been put into this vat. And all of a sudden we're looking around ourselves and we're going, oh, I'm in sludge. What was it? And a minute ago I was in a field and I was green and I was perfect and the sun was on my face and it was gorgeous. And now I'm in a vat and I'm in the dark and I'm turning into sludge. And in that moment, I'm not aware that in a very short while, I'm going to be the most beautiful bottle of champagne. You know, this is the analogy that I'm going to use from now on. You know, it's the grape to champagne. It's not the caterpillar, because the caterpillar is still perfect being a caterpillar. Let's just stop dissing the caterpillar. Yeah, you know, let's just be a beautiful grape that, you know, knows it's not a grape anymore, knows that it's not that life anymore, knows we're not in a field anymore, knows the sun's disappeared, know all of these things. And then all of a sudden we're going to find ourselves being the most beautiful bottle of champagne. You know, we're going to become something completely different a little bit down the way. There we go. That's my little random chat today, talking about the in between. I'm hoping that that was useful for you. So we've done full circle. We've done full circle of farts, and we've ended up in like mushy champagne. You know, we've gone all the way through. We've talked about lots of different things today. But the message of the day that the crew really wanted to share was, let yourself be. If you're in this state of transition, if you're really struggling, literally meditate, just let yourself be and step out and let yourself into that state of where your spirit literally can just do the work, move you forward, allow you into that state of transition really quickly, into that state of grace. And then very, very quickly, we will be moving out of this. And the awareness of knowing what's going on is exactly what we need right now. It's exactly what we need, because we're all in perfect states of transition. The world is in a perfect state of transition, even though it feels like, what the fuck? So thank you ever so much if you've made it through today. Thank you if you are watching me on Facebook. Please do go over onto my YouTube channel and make sure you subscribe over there, because there's some stuff coming up over there that won't be anywhere else. So if you're not subscribed over on the YouTube channel yet, please do. Also, you can find out what I do, and you can find a load more channels from me and the crew over on my YouTube channel and on my website at uninvented.life. And on my website as well, you will actually find a link to a free ebook that I've put together called How to Drive Your Human, which is a what the fuck awakening guide for all of us in these moments where we're looking around and going, what the fuck? That's what we do. So website is uninvented.life. And if you'd like to have a session with me, if you'd like to have a channeled session with me and the crew, if you'd like some support in your transition, all of the information about there, how you can work with me one-to-one, is on the website too. And if you've made it this far, letting you know that next week there is going to be a special offer only going out to people on my mailing list of how to work with me in a bit of a different way. So if you'd like to get onto the mailing list and find out all about that, I will be putting the link into the comments on both Facebook and YouTube, and you can scurry on over to the mailing list and sign up, and you'll find all about it. It will only be for those of you on the mailing list who are following me, and we're having these one-to-one conversations between me and your inbox, because we like that. Right, so have an amazing, beautiful, wonderful day. Thank you ever so much for everybody who's been here today. Jewel and Kathy especially, and Faze has been here. Hi. And Joanna. Hi, Joanna. So, you know, Becky and Jewel and everybody who manages to get here live, thank you very much. And also, I know there's so many of you that watch these on replay, so thank you very much. Pop me a thing in the comment. How are you feeling about the energy farts that are going on at the moment? How are you feeling about your transition? Are you in this in-between space? What's going on for you? Click over, send me a PM, pop it in the comments. I'd love to have a conversation with you. In the meantime, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next week at 3 o'clock on Thursday, Paris time. And yeah, I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. We'll find out as we go. Huge, huge love.